So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can start adding your TV and film credits to your IMDb profile. Now, if you don't have an IMDb profile, that's okay. You can actually create one. I'll show you how to do it here real quick. This is something that certainly will help add credibility to your licensing career. So when you want to reach out to a new library, you maybe want to work one-on-one with a music supervisor or pitch to any project, sometimes just sending a link to the IMDb page can be a great way to sort of add credibility and legitimacy to yourself, okay? Here's one of my mistakes. I did not do this for the entire 11 years I've been in this industry. So if you've looked at my IMDb page, it's been very sparse. There's been not much on it. Now, just starting today, I'm going to start adding all of my placements. Reason for me not doing it, I just didn't care so much about having my credits on IMDb. I just didn't think that was such a big deal. But I think now with my YouTube channel, my podcast, everything, I know that a lot of people are looking at me and seeing if I'm the real deal or not. So I definitely want to add that level of credibility to myself. So it's just a matter of literally logging metadata. That's how you're going to be able to get your credits into IMDb. And here's the other reason why I've been sort of waiting to do this. As you can see right here, in my cue sheets, I have 414 shows, and each show has multiple episodes, sometimes up to 50 or even more. So I have a lot of work in front of me. I'm starting on page 1 today, and we'll see how far I can get into it. But here's what I want to do for you guys is walk you through obviously how to create your account first. Once you have that account created, then how to start adding individual credits. So of course, if you're brand new to licensing and you don't have any credits yet, don't worry about this right now, but definitely save this video for the future. For when you start getting those credits, don't make my mistake and wait for years and years to start updating your IMDb. Do it right when you start getting your replacements. So right when you get that royalty statement or right when you see those cue sheets popping up in your PRO account, this is where you need to start doing it, okay? So obviously you just need to come to imdb.com, Internet Movie Database is what it stands for. And then you need to go up to the very top. You'll see this little button that says sign in. Just click on that. And you can, if you already have an account, I'll show you how to deal with that. But most of you watching this probably have never had an IMDb account because you're probably brand new to sync licensing or in the beginning stages, or maybe you've just never had your credits posted to IMDb. So if you need to create a new account, you just click on this yellow button here, create a new account. It's as simple as putting in your name, your email address, creating a password, re-entering the password, and then creating the account. It will definitely ask you to validate your email address. So make sure you go right immediately to your email inbox and click on that little link that they send to you. You do have to validate your email address to be able to start adding credits to your profile, okay? So once you have that done, we're gonna get rid of this window right here. All right, so now we're here inside of the IMDb website, but I'm logged into my account where I've already been starting to add some of my TV shows. So I'm going to show you right now, step by step, how to start finding the TV shows that you had a placement with and how to add it to your profile. Okay, it's very, very simple, but there's a couple of really key things you need to make sure you get right to make sure this is a smooth process, because I made a lot of dumb mistakes trying to figure out how to do this right, and it took me a long time. So hopefully with this process, you can save yourself all that headache, okay? So obviously the first thing you need to know is what's the TV show, what's the movie, what's the program that you need to get a credit for, okay? So obviously, if you have an account with ASCAP that shows you your cue sheets, you can go through your ASCAP account. Unfortunately, BMI does not have this process, so sorry about that. You're gonna have to just wait until you get your royalty statement, okay? So what I'm gonna do right now is walk you guys through my American Idol placements, okay? And we're gonna try to find these 3 episodes and put them onto my IMDb account, okay? So obviously we know we're looking for American Idol. So all you do on the IMDb main website after you've created your account and verified everything, just type in the name of the TV show, American Idol. And it's usually going to be the first one that pops up. There's a lot of different variations of the TV show, but usually it's that first one because that's the main TV show that obviously is known, okay? So what you do, once you get to the actual page of the show that you had a credit on, you scroll all the way down, ignore everything, look for this bright yellow button that says Edit Page, okay? So what you're going to do is you're actually now going to be adding a credit for yourself to this TV show, okay? The only one you need to look at is Music Department. Right here, okay? It's basically halfway through cast and crew. Don't worry about anything else, just halfway through cast and crew. You see music department. On the right, you're gonna click on this no change and scroll down to put add 1 credit. 1 credit meaning you are 1 person being added to this TV show for the credit, okay? That's it. Nothing more complicated than that. Scroll all the way down and click on continue, okay? This is where you need to make sure you get everything right, or else you're gonna get these errors saying that you can't submit this credit yet, okay? So step 1, of course, you're going to add your name. Just put your first and last name. If you already have an account, it's going to auto-populate and find you there. So you can see some of your, 60 days in was one of the first credits that I just started doing this morning. So I know that that's my account. And yes, this is the correct composer that I want to credit, okay? If you have not created an account yet, nothing will populate. That's okay. But I'm going to point out one thing as you go through this process to make sure you do click to ensure that you actually get the placement. Okay, but just stay tuned to that. We'll talk about that. Okay, here's the most tedious data entry part of this process, especially if you have multiple episodes within a TV show. You do need to enter each individual episode you had your tracks placed in. And again, I need to make sure I emphasize this. Do not lie about this. Don't put your name into episodes and TV shows that you did not get credits, okay? You don't want to be known as a thief. You don't want to be known as a liar or as a boaster or as a, maybe not a boaster, but just make sure that you're being honest about this and really taking a one-to-one from your cue sheets or from your royalty statements and putting it accurately into this database, okay? I just want to make sure you guys are all clear on that. So what you can do is there's a little tiny button, which I wish they would have made a little bit bigger because this is one thing it took me a while to figure out what's going on. Little tiny strange button, kind of like an icon list. You click on that. This is how you're actually going to get access to every single season of this show. And you can scroll down and you can select any different individual episode that you had your tracks featured on. So obviously now we got to find out what episodes did I get my music featured in. So if you come back to my ASCAP account and I've clicked on my American Idol thing, you can see that there are 3 episodes, but 1509, 1510, 1520. What does this mean? I don't know what these numbers are pointing to. I have no idea what that's about. And there's no episode title. Sometimes you will scroll down, you'll see an actual episode title. And what you can do is in this, look for that episode title. However, if you have 18 seasons of a particular show, this can take a long time to find that particular episode title. So here's the faster way that I found works a little bit better. Click on the actual individual episode within your account. And what you'll do is up here where it says details, you click on that and you need to look for this expected air date. Okay, this is the important piece of metadata that's going to help you find that episode that you're looking for. Okay, so we had January 21st, 2016. Okay, January 21st, 2016. Let's start looking for where these air dates are. We're in 2009 here in season 8, so we need to go up quite a bit. Here's 2014, come a little bit more. There we go. So we're in 2016 here, January 21st. This is not a perfect system. As you can see here, there's no title to this episode. I have no title inside of my account either. There's really no title to any of this other than 1509, 1510, okay? So it's not a perfect system where you're gonna be able to find everything matches up, but I think what you're gonna look for is this air date. That's gonna be the thing that's gonna match up the most. And I've already seen it though. Sometimes there is no matching air date even, okay? So it's definitely not a perfect system between the database on IMDB and the PRO's database, okay? It's not a perfect match, but it's pretty good. You'll get most of your placements to be able to register, okay? So that's our first one. We obviously have clicked on that. Let's go ahead and go back. Let's look to our next episode here, which is 1521, 1522. Again, doesn't mean anything. Can't help me find it on the IMDb page. So we have to go and look for the air date. So we have February 18th, 2016. So that might be in the same season. There we go. February 18th, 2016. Duets round 2. Again, doesn't show that anywhere in mine, but that's okay. As long as I have the right air date, then I know that I'm fairly certain that I have the right metadata and the right episode here, okay? Let's get that last episode. We will look for the details, and it's going to be March 24th, 2016, okay? So what does this one do? This one does not have a March 24th. It has a March 17th and an April 5th. So this is an example of what I was telling you about. I'll look in one more season, but I think that one wouldn't have it. March... That's where 2018. So no, that was it. And 14, no, that's it. Okay, so here's an example where I have 3 credits, but I can only show 2 on the IMDb website. That's just how it is. It's okay. I'm not going to click on a different date just to be like, well, I have 3 credits, so I'm just going to take credit for this one. That's okay. Take the L on that. Okay, so you got your 2 credits that show up, and that's awesome. And it does show that you have a credit on that TV show, which is really nice. Okay, so it's not a perfect system, but you do the best you can with it. Occupation. This is where you're going to put composer, especially if you're a TV, film, music licensing producer and you work with a production music library like I do, okay? So you're going to put composer, but here's the most important part, okay? If you don't put this exact keyword, you're going to get a lot of pushback and you're probably not going to be able to submit this credit. You need to put additional music in this little sub text bar right here, okay? Don't just put composer because you are not the main composer for this TV show. The main composer might be credited with the person who composed the title, right, or the theme song. You're not that person. You probably did either, it could be foreground cues, but probably most likely like what I do, you do background music. But you're not going to put background music, put additional music in this. I have put background music and it worked, it got through, but I think additional music is the appropriate title and I haven't gotten any pushback with that, okay? You don't need to do anything about attribute. You can keep that completely empty. This is one thing that's optional, but I do think it's a good idea, is to click on this provide an explanation to assist in processing the submission. We're going to add just a one sentence about the fact that we are working with a production music library and we got our tracks placed on this TV show through that outlet. Okay, so I think it's an important thing just to make sure that they have that backstory if they're going to evaluate whether or not this placement is legit. Now, one thing is they say that they have a team of people that are going to check and validate every single placement or credit that's being submitted to their website. However, once you go through this and you're accepted, you'll see it appear on your account within like minutes, like literally 5 or 10 minutes at the most, you'll see it posted there. So I don't think that they have human beings preliminarily going through and screening these submissions. I think what they do is just immediately accept them as long as you followed all the instructions and put the appropriate data in there. And maybe down the line, they have a team of interns or people that go through and double check this stuff. So that's why it's really important to not lie about this and not post stuff that you didn't actually do, okay? So once you're done, you feel you did it right, click on check these updates. If you see anything here that is in yellow, okay, something that says, well, this is not right, that's not acceptable, follow its directions and correct what it might be. You might see down here that if this is the first time you're putting in a credit for yourself, it'll say, hey, which composer are you really wanting to make sure this gets credited to? Because we don't see any placements for the person you put in there, which is okay, because if it's your first time of putting in a credit in, you're not going to have any credits to go by. But make sure you do. It'll have a drop-down list, and you're going to click on a button of your particular name. Make sure you do credit to yourself, okay? And if there's any other issues or problems they have with you, they will obviously explain that to you, and you need to make sure that you continuously resubmit it until you see the green. Green means go. You can start submitting it. If it seems red, there's a problem. If it's yellow, there's a problem. You need to change it until it's right, okay? So for the explanation, what I'm going to do is say, I supplied music for this show through a production music library. That's it. We don't need to give them a life story. You need to tell them everything about how this track got placed, but just give this subtle or very brief and short explanation for how you're crediting yourself on this TV show. That's it. Okay. Once this is done, you click on. You can do recheck, but you don't need to do that if you're seeing the green. That means you're going to be accepted. Okay, and then you're just going to do submit these updates. Okay, so now we have, thank you for your contribution to IMDB. The information you've supplied is being processed by their team. So again, I don't know exactly what that means, because you'll see very quickly that your credits will actually show up. And I'll actually look up my name now. I don't think it'll show up right now, but definitely within a few minutes, you'll start to see this stuff showing up. Okay, so we're going to click on my name. Okay, so we have these are the ones I've already done this morning. So we have, 90 Day Fiance, Alaskan Bush People, 60 Days In, Access Hollywood. And obviously these are the previous ones I've had. Let's Be Cops and Instaland was a TV show or a TV feature that I did. So here's how it works. And then you're going to get a little email confirmation saying, here's your receipt, essentially, thank you for submitting. Give us some time to update it. But I'm guaranteeing you're going to see it show up on your account definitely within an hour. But for the ones I'm seeing so far, it's within 5 to 10 minutes. It's very quick. So it should be a very fast process. Now, my process is logging in those over 400 TV shows and all the multiple episodes. It's going to be a lot of time, so I'll probably do it one day at a time and one page at a time, likely. But I hope this helped you. And I do think it's a good idea to do this. I don't think it's a good idea to do what I did, which is sort of like pretend this doesn't matter, or to not put your credits on your IMDb page. I think it does add a lot of credibility and a lot of, it just shows that you are a very serious player. And this is why a lot of producers don't do this, is because it's just a lot of work. It's a lot of metadata stuff. So, and obviously that's why I wasn't really that interested in doing it. But hopefully you will learn from my mistake and you just start logging your placement, just start logging your placements as soon as you get them through your cue sheets or through your royalty statements. So if you guys have any questions about this process, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. I'll be happy to help in any way I possibly can.